directly from Barcelona.
We are from Sweden.
I came all the way from Istanbul, Bodrum, Turkey.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. So, let's get ourselves in an optimum state of mind and body. Let's just do something to get ourselves in the lucky zone, to get ourselves feeling good about things. So I want you to, just if it helps, close your eyes. Remember a time that you felt like everything's going your way. Notice where you feel that lucky feeling inside your body, strongest of all. Make the colors around you glow brighter and bolder. Make the sounds louder and fresher. That's right. That's it. Take it up to 120, 30, and then a billion, trillion, million, trillion, billion. That's right. Okay. Open your eyes. Come on, back out. Ooh, feel good? Yeah, let's go brighten up some lights.
McKenna!
Wants to have more optimism, more confidence, more motivation, more passion, more joy, more happiness in their life? Anybody interested in that? Yeah? I'm convinced that success and happiness are not accidents that randomly happen to some people and not to others. Success and happiness are created by certain ways of thinking and acting in the world. I've been working with Richard Bandler now for over 20 years, and no two events are ever the same. Giggle, 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 shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. There you go. What we're going to be helping you to do here is to learn to run your own brain. Wow, quite an emotional moment for you. Thank you. These are tears of happiness. Oh, thank God for that. Okay. This comes from the amazing technology that Richard Bandler created called neuro-linguistic programming.
Neuro-linguistic programming is just the name I gave to the techniques I developed.
Well, the main applications in NLP are helping people to make changes in their behavior and also in the way that they think and feel so that they actually can get more of what they want.
Now, I'm going to count to 3. And as I count, you're going to wake up, but not to where you were. You're going to wake all the way up for the first time, maybe ever. It's not about curing people of things. It's purely educational. It's an educational model about how people can live more successfully, think more successfully. Because if you change the way you think, it will change the way you feel, and therefore it will change what you could do.
It's my son.
It's your son. So your son sees you as this invincible person. And God, that's just wonderful, isn't it? So you inspire that within him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be a pretty strong and amazing person.
I guess.
Yeah.
From his point of view,
Well,
yeah.
own it.
Yeah.
My school report, one of my school reports said I would never amount to anything. So when I had my first #1 bestseller, I wrote "fuck you" in it, and I sent it to my English teacher. And no, it's childish. God, it felt good.
Einstein's definition of insanity was doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Say, my definition of real personal power is knowing what you do well and what you don't do well, so you know what to learn next. Because that will make you a more powerful person.
Did anybody here, as a child, when you were learning to walk, or maybe your parents, those of your parents, when the child was learning to walk, it fell over, yeah? Did you just go, oh, well, I guess this one isn't a walker, wheelchair for this one, you know? No, you propped them back up, and you went, have another go. And another go, until you learn to do it.
Most people want the world to change so that they can feel better. They'll come up and go, if my husband behaved differently, I would be a happy person. And I tell them, I go, look, this falls under the big 10 rules that Richard has. And one is, the world is not fair, get over it.
Phobia is a good example of a one-trial learning. You get bitten by one dog, mistreated by one dentist, stuck in one elevator, and then all dogs, doors, dentists, etc. Your brain goes, oh, it's got form. Ooh, I'm not sure about that. And what's your fear? Is it public speaking?
Yeah.
Yes. So this must be terrifying for you right now. There's 700 people there all looking at you. Now look this way. Okay. Now we're going to do, see, they've disappeared. No, stay here. They've disappeared, right? Now, here we go. Let's turn you around, shall we? Oh, scary. Oh. Now, look, first of all, I'm going to wobble Sophie. And we're going to find out, oh, look, there you go. She's up here in the head. Now, close your eyes. Oh, they've all disappeared. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, move your brain down to where my fingers are clicking. That's it. There you go. That's it. Put your brain in your tummy. Now, if the fear was on a scale of 1 to 10 a minute ago, what scale was? What was it?
It's like
It's like
11.
11. Close your eyes once again. Put your brain in your tummy. Hold 1 point. Now, I'm pushing as hard as I can on you right now. And I can't move you, right? It probably doesn't feel like I'm pushing at all. Keep your eyes closed. Does it feel like I'm pushing at all? No.
Yeah.
I'm pushing as hard as I can, right? Because you have become strong like bull. Yeah? Okay. Now, close your eyes. If it was at 11, what number is it right now?
3, 4.
3, 4. Now open your eyes and just gently look at the audience. Oh, 1 point. That's good. Keep it. There you go. Just gaze out. Don't look at individuals. Just gaze out, but hold 1 point. Hold 1 point. 3. But what number is it now? Has it gone up?
Maybe 5.
5. Just hold it. Tell me when it goes to 4.
Now.
4. Tell me when it goes to 3.
Now.
3. Tell me when it goes to 2. Yeah, tell me when it goes to 1. But hang on, shouldn't we have been in therapy for months? Ooh.
Yeah, I've been practicing throughout the day the exercises he told me to put my mind into my gut and sort of ground myself. So I definitely feel more relaxed and comfortable to go up on stage.
So now, this is a really neat thing. Who's a very confident public speaker, a woman who you admire, you like to be a little bit more like? You can be a famous person or it can be a friend of yours, something like that.
Oh, I can't think.
Anyone who's pretty natural with an audience who you like. Right, could be
Maybe Theresa May.
Theresa May, yeah? Yeah.
Apart
Okay.
from the coffee.
No, hey. Yeah, do you like her? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you fucking like her or not because this is the person I'm working with, right? Yeah? You want to borrow from the confidence of somebody like Theresa May because whether or not you like her, that's not important. It's what they like her. She's got a quality that you like. So think about somebody who'd like to be more like, who's very charismatic. Imagine they're standing there and close your eyes and step into them. And stand the way they stand. Breathe the way they breathe and smile the way they smile. That's right. And now, that's right, borrow from their confidence. And I want you to tell me, Sophie, where are you from, by the way?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. One of my favourite cities, actually. What do you do for a living?
I'm a student. I'm still in school.
Yeah, what are you studying?
I study in the Heritage Private School.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And what are some of the things you'd really like to do with your life? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you like to do?
Maths, programming.
Yeah? Okay. By the way, you said to me you were phobic of public speaking.
Yeah.
You seem very relaxed right now in speaking to 700 people.
Thank you so much.
Now, hang on. On a scale of 1 to 10, where's the fear right now?
3.
It's a 3.
I definitely feel like the exercises on stage had a major effect on my self-confidence and how I feel now. It's a genuine improvement.
So, Sophie, thank you very much. You are healed.
I feel refreshed at the minute. I feel like there's a positive vibe throughout the building. I feel like there's a lot of improvement, not just in myself, but in others as well. I feel like everyone's more open and familiar with each other. So, yeah, there was a big improvement.
There was somebody from Harvard in the teaching the class. He was a psychologist, and he explained to us what NTL training is, which was the National Training Lab, where encounter groups started. And he gave us a list of 16 pages of rules that we were supposed to follow, like don't ask questions, express the feeling behind them. And I looked at that and I said, why are we doing that? And he said, no, tell me the feeling behind your question. And I said, the feeling is that this is a lot of crap, and I feel like I want to slap you. And he said, so you're feeling some anger? I said, no, it's just a hobby of mine. When people say stupid shit, I want to slap them, you know. Sometimes I can't stop myself, you know. And then the next day I came in, I was a little late because I was actually at the library reading something interesting, and I thought, oh God, I have to go to that stupid class again. So I kept reading, and so I showed up about halfway through, and I came in, and there was this woman crying, and my dad never treated me, blah, 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 blah. And I sat down, and he turns to me suddenly, and he said, "You're closed to new ideas." And I went, "What?" I said, "I just got here. I haven't heard a new idea. This woman whined about this last week." And I said, "There's nothing new about it at all. She thinks the reason she's an idiot is because her father didn't treat her right." And I said, "And her father's not even here, and she's still acting like an idiot. Doesn't make any sense." And he said, "Well, you're not open to other people's pain." And I said, "And how the hell do you know that?" And he said, "Because your arms and legs are closed." And I looked down at my legs, and I looked up at him, and I said, "That's not where new ideas go in." How many of you have a bad memory that you think about every day? Maybe 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, a minute here, and it makes you feel horrible. How many of you in here? Because I know the answer to it already, but raise your hand, right? You, sir, you do this? Okay, so what would you say if you added up those minutes? What do you think it would total out to? In other words, if you took 2 minutes here and 3 minutes there, 5 minutes, do you think it would be an hour in a day, or a half hour, or 2 hours? Pardon?
2 hours.
2 hours. Well, let's do a little math, okay? Because you can either go to therapy, or I can teach you to do something which will make it go away in minutes, okay? But if you want to go to therapy, that's okay with me, because if people are going to be stupid, it's a good place for them. That's the way I think about it. The more I watch through glass windows people doing therapy, and sometimes I thought to myself, I went, "What the hell did he say?" You know how many times in an hour a therapist will ask you how you feel about something? I finally found out what that actually means. It means I have no fucking idea what to do. That's what that means. If you find yourself saying that, it means you have no fucking idea what to do next. Because, who cares? You already know they don't feel good about it, or they wouldn't have brought it up in the first fucking place. Yeah, I know by definition this makes you feel bad. Now, this means that in a week, you're going to spend 14 hours, okay? That's 28,000 hours you're planning to have this bad feeling between now and the time you die. Does that sound like a good idea? Okay. You know, I have a diagnosis for that. I call that stupid. Okay. You want to come up here for a minute? Now, here's the thing, okay. If I could give you 700 hours, okay, every year, right? Because if you don't do this, you have to do something else. You can either think of something else shitty, or what do you think you would do with if you had 700 hours every year, right? Because people are always telling me, "I didn't have enough time to do it." They say to me, "Oh, Richard, how have you written 30 books? And I go, "Well, I don't waste a lot of fucking time. I don't sit around and go, oh, fuck, that makes me feel bad. Oh, shit, that makes me feel bad. Oh, that's horrible. Let's make that bigger so it feels worse." I don't do a lot of that stuff, so I get a lot of shit done. It's to me, my clients come in and they go, "I've been in therapy with the same therapist for 18 years. And I think, I'm going to last maybe 18 minutes with this person. And that'll be about my limit. And then if they're not changed, I'm going to kill them. So the way this works is either you change or you die while I'm drying. So I suggest you follow my instructions rather explicitly. Yep. It's all about changing how you think and how you feel so that you can do more things than you used to be able to. When you worry about stuff, the picture is too big. It's too clear. It's too focused. It's too detailed. If you're worried about the past, gee whiz, the best thing about the past is that it's over. You change the way you think, it will change the way you feel, and therefore it will change what you could do. Okay, now, all right, close your eyes, make the picture, right? Just before you get the bad feeling, shrink it down. Faster. Okay, you got it?
Yep.
All right. Now, look at the little picture, but start at the end and run everything backwards. Back to the beginning of the event. Everybody walk backwards and talk backwards. Okay? It's kind of silly that way. Okay, now, Open your eyes. Now, how many years have you felt bad about whatever this is, would you say? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
15 years, maybe.
15 years. Ooh, shit, those are big numbers.
Yeah.
700 times 15, big number.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking close to 10,000. 10,000 hours you spent doing this, right? Okay. Now, go and look at the picture now. Can you make yourself feel bad?
I can't feel it. I can't see it.
Try harder.
It's just white.
What?
It's just white. It's just white.
Try it. You can do it. Uh-oh. Problem solved.
The memory's still there in the sense of I know it hasn't disappeared, but it's gone from a point of affecting me and holding me back. So, and that's a really good thing for me today.
Do you know, we're going to actually do a little exercise now that is silly, but it's not stupid. What we're going to do in just a moment, on the count of 3, is we are going to turn to the person next to us and we're going to go... No, I tell you, you want to get good at this, right? Because you can sit in your office like this all day long and no one will bother you. You can get on the London Tube, right? And you can get on the scary Northern Line, right? And you don't need a newspaper to avert eye contact from the lunatic, right? So you can just be sitting there. And they get in the carriage and they go, it could have been somebody, right? And you go, and they won't come near you. Do you know when you smile, you release more endorphins, or serotonin, happy neurotransmitters. Dopamine, serotonin are friends. Yeah, that's right. So we're going to pull a great big smile, and I found this noise in particular, helps immensely. And we are going to look at the person either side of us and make eye contact, and almost certainly laugh, because of course it breaks the social boundary. Because normally we don't go around, no, if you really do go around going to everyone, someone might have something to say about it, right? But there are times to definitely use this. So this is what we're going to do. On the count of 3, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and I want you to go, biggest smile you've ever pulled, cheesy, like, right? And then look at the person either side of you. Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3. Not bad, not bad. By changing our physiology, we change the way we feel. Who here feels a little bit lighter, feels a bit happier, feels a bit more? Yes.
Sleep. Now, let your head fall into my finger. That's right, just relax. Because I'm going to speak to your other mind. I'm going to lift up this arm, and I'm not going to tell you to put it down. It's going to go stiff. That's right. There you go. And let your unconscious take over, because your unconscious is close enough to hear me and respond. It has been already. You did something you didn't think was possible. You took something that you looked at every day and felt bad, and when you look at it now, it doesn't make you feel bad anymore.
Richard said to me, you're going to be going into a tunnel, and I did. Everything, the sort of peripheral vision disappeared, and I just focused on him and his face. It was very clear. His eyebrows were moving a lot, and it really stood out. So I found that quite mesmerising, very mesmerising.
Here we go. 1, 2, sleep. Deep, deeper, and deeper still. Now we need to make some good feelings. Now, if you go and jump between 4 or 5 past really good memories, find wonderful events, and I want you to see what you saw were there, hear what you heard, and I want them to be twice the size of life. Find a really happy one, big smile, bigger smile. Oh, you can do better than that. In fact, I want one with a giggle attached to it. That's it, and bigger giggle than that. Oh, even bigger still. That's right. There you go, bigger giggle. In fact, every time you start to worry, I want you to start giggling. Every time one of these problems comes into your mind, I want you to start giggling. and you start to aim your life in the right direction. And the more you start to get used to feeling good, the more good you'll feel, and then it'll double, and then it'll get stronger, and you'll feel better more of the time. It's a vicious cycle that you'll never be able to stop for the rest of your life.
I've only just started to feel the benefit from it. I think tomorrow is going to be, I'll feel much more of the benefit from what happened today. Richard said that to me.
Now I'm going to count to 3, and as I count, you're going to wake up, but not to where you were. You're going to wake all the way up. For the first time, maybe ever, you're going to feel an unexplainable sense of well-being. And a lot of things are going to seem very funny that didn't seem funny before. A lot of things you were very serious about, you will be cured of that. Because when you're serious about bad feelings, you get to have them over and over again. But you're going to wake up laughing, feeling great, and an unexplainable sense of well-being. 1, 2, 3, now.
Wow.
Okay, so what was this bad memory again? Can you see it?
No.
Okay, try harder.
I can't see it.
Isn't it great that people will keep trying? No. Give me a minute, I can get it. So, you want me to put it back?
No, thanks. No.
Sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much, son.
Thank you, Richard.
I put somebody who had a bad memory, they thought about it every day for a couple of hours, and I make it so he can't think about it, right? And, I used to go into groups of psychologists, and, and I'd look at them, and then I go, well, they'll go, because they would always raise their hand, they go, what do you do if it comes back? I go, it took me 5 minutes, right? And I taught the person what to do, so they should know enough to do it again if it comes back. So then I don't look at them and go, well, it's probably coming back, because that's a bad plan, right? I go, what are you going to do with the spare time?
Perspective is really important. I mean, there's a famous letter from a college student. You probably heard this story, but if you haven't, I'll tell it to you anyway. So she says, Dear Mum and Dad, I just want you to know I'm out of the hospital now. It was a pretty bad fire, but I'm okay. A very nice young man rescued me. He's called Jack. I'm writing to let you know that me and Jack, we're in love, we're getting married, and by the way, you're going to be grandparents. Actually, P.S., there was no fire, there's nobody called Jack, I'm not pregnant, but I did fail my biology exam, and I just want to put it in the proper perspective.
They were both very funny guys. They could definitely go on stage as comedians if they wanted to. Forget about the NLP, but they're doing very well at NLP, obviously, as well.
When I started out, stage hypnotists had a bad name, most of them. But when I met Paul, he was one of the most devoted learners. He was a celebrity here in town, and when I came into town, I taught 3 one-week seminars. He came in the first morning to introduce himself, because he knew and had heard of me and read my books. And when he saw what I was actually doing, he cleared his schedule and stayed for 3 weeks and was the best student for 3 weeks.
Feel good?
I can fly.
And making the transition, I think, from being just a stage hypnotist to being somebody that helped people to quit smoking. And, his books are read by hundreds of thousands of people. And he's spread a lot of information.
I've used the title hypnotist, behavioral scientist, influencer is more commonly what I call myself, as I influence people from all walks of life. But agent of change, sometimes secret agent of change, because people don't know I'm actually doing it when I'm doing it, or they don't know quite what I'm up to, and that's because sometimes people actually stop me and go, you're just trying to make me feel good, aren't you? I go, yeah.
This is somebody who, he didn't know me, but he's had a huge influence on my life, because I was a size 30 and I'm now a size 8. I've lost 13.5 stone.
Wow. Now, what is that in pounds? Because
That's 189 pounds or 86 kilograms.
Wow. You've lost 13.5, you've lost 189 pounds.
189 pounds.
How did you do it?
I used your book and CD.
You did?
I did. So I can make you thin. So I'm testament to the fact it really does work.
People are going to think you've been planted.
No, I promise you I haven't.
All the diet pills, all that, none of that stuff is going to work. You need to change your lifestyle, so you have to change the way you think. And you have to see who you want to be and desire getting there.
The reason why I originally had the impetus to lose weight was because when my son was at nursery, he was only about 3, one of his friends had upset him, and so when he came home from school, I was like, what's wrong? And apparently one of his friends had said that my bum was the size of a planet. And so this had really upset Joseph, and it was that moment, you know sometimes you get that click moment. For me, that was it.
They go, what would make me feel better for the rest of my life instead of right now? Because the quickest answer is stuff something in your mouth, but it doesn't last, because as soon as you're done chewing, then what's next? Another piece of cake, another piece of candy, a bowl of cereal, a loaf of bread. The next thing you know, they're overweight, and then they go, I'm overweight, I'm hungry all the time.
You don't realise the influence that you've had on my life.
Okay, thank you. Well, and now, you look at the way you've just impacted the entire room and people watching this. I mean, it's really quite awesome, isn't it? So, wow, quite an emotional moment for you. Thank you. These are tears of happiness.
They are.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay.
My son he's 11. He's immensely proud. For him, it's a real... He's told me, for him, it's an inspiration. It's something that he knows that set your mind to something, even difficult, you can do it. Now that I've seen what it's like the other side, I passionately want to help other people who think that they can't do it. But Jesus, I had every single problem. I had no willpower. I was a weak person. I gave up at every opportunity. And yet if I can do it, then so many other people can, and that's what I'm desperate and passionate to do.
I think people. You already have, what you've just said. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you for sharing. That was wonderful.
See, the purpose of the brain is you pick targets and you aim it. Now, how many of you have tried to quit smoking and just can't fucking do it? Right? You, ma'am, you've tried to quit smoking and you can't do it? Come on up here, let's chit-chat for a minute. When you think about quitting, what do you think about?
Just more money that I'm not wasting on cigarettes. It's better for my singing. It's less anxiety because it triggers heart palpitations and everything, and I've been struggling with that. So. Okay, so how did it become hard to quit then? Those all sound like good things. Yeah. And you say this to yourself? I've got a very bad negative thinking going around there. Okay. And so saying to yourself, I will save money and I won't have heart palpitations is negative thinking? No. Oh, you have another voice? Yeah. And what does that one say? It says, you can never do it. You've been doing it for a long time. I like it. They're on separate sides of her head, too. They argue back and forth. Yeah, exactly. One goes over here and one goes over. Like... They're arguing through her skull. That sounds noisy. Yeah. And then the nice voice that wants me to be better just turns around. By the way, you do know these are your voices. Yeah. Right. Okay, good. Yeah. Just so you know that. Yeah, it comes and beats me up for, you're a loser, you haven't done it, you cannot do it, and everything. Can you make a picture of yourself smoking? You can see yourself smoking? Mm-hmm. Do you look happy? Okay. You see that person 20 years from now, still smoking, only being sick and crackly skin and yellow teeth and haggard, right? Do you want to be that person? No. Right, because that's what's coming your way if you don't change this. If you close your eyes for a minute and imagine yourself having quit smoking and you're walking through a room full of people smoking and they're offering you cigarettes and you're just lightly and happily saying no, would you want to be that girl? You know how strong the desire is for a cigarette. When you look at this picture of her, is the feeling of desire as strong as a cigarette? Yeah. Actually, it's not, is it?
I felt different things. I felt like And I asked people who saw that because my eyes were closed. And I said, I felt like my eyeballs were like going around inside my head. And I felt like there are like signals going around and like electric signs. And I was listening to him talking. I was like, am I going to sleep? Is it trance? It's really weird.
You see, when you stop and you think about perfect moments, our neurochemistry lines up in just the right way to make just the right decision. Because for the rest of your life, there will be cigarettes. They're everywhere. They'll walk out of buildings and you'll sell cigarette smoke. You spend a long time using those moments to mark them with a cigarette. You need something new to mark them with. And let me tell you, there's something in your neurology built in to do that. I want you to take a deep breath right now and sigh. Go, ah. Oh, it's got to be a better sigh than that. Because you see, sighing is the neurological marker that goes, I'm finished. So you need to look at that package of cigarettes moving away and the picture of that girl's face. Take a deep breath and give me a perfect sigh. And feel finished. Now, when you feel finished, even when it comes back and you feel the craving for a cigarette, all you have to do is take a deep breath, wet your lips, and sigh. Oh, you have a lifetime to practice. Oh. And when you look at her face, you have to want her more than the cigarettes. The important part is not that you stop smoking. The important part is that you go, this will be the marker that tells me I can do anything by setting my mind to the right direction, looking at things and knowing how to be finished with them. Look at your package of cigarettes. It's what I brought it for. I want you to open your eyes and look at it. Take a deep breath and just sigh. And say to yourself, never again. And if you do, then just start over, right?
Never again.
Never again. And sigh and go, ah. Isn't that better?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, here are your cigarettes. Look at your cigarettes. Look at the picture in your mind. Which do you want more?
The happy, non-smoker, successful.
Now, what are you going to do as you start to crave a cigarette?
Just think of that picture, have a deep breath, and a good sigh.
And what?
A good sigh.
And a good sigh.
And I'm finished.
Normally, first thing, I would have grabbed the coffee and went to the parking outside, but I didn't.
We'll check on you tomorrow, see how you're doing.
This morning, I had my coffee, drove here, didn't do it. Break time, I didn't even go out. So I had to spare myself probably the temptation to go to the shop, but I didn't. And even break lunchtime, I had my lunch indoors, and then I went for some fresh air, was drinking my coffee, people smoking around me. It's normal. It's not like, shall I go and buy some cigarettes or something? No, it's like a person was, two people actually. One was smoking a cigar and one was smoking a cigarette. And I was like sipping my coffee. Weird.
In 2 days, you can't fix everything. But if people see examples of what's impossible becoming possible like this, then they'll start to go, there's got to be a way for me to do that. And when people become more optimistic, then they start looking for answers instead of manufacturing excuses. So the doctor says to me, you can't just suppress a symptom. And I went, I beg your pardon? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Make the symptoms go away? And he said, no, if you suppress the symptom, it will come out somewhere else. Now, you don't tell a mathematician that without making them happy. That's all we do. We switch these numbers and they change over here. And I went, ooh, that's cool. You suppress the symptom and it comes out somewhere else. So the next day, the shrink brings me a person, and the guy comes in and goes, he's got a paralyzed leg, and the doctor and the psychiatrist that bring him, the guy goes, I'm a neurologist, there's nothing wrong with his leg. And the psychiatrist goes, it's psychosomatic. And I said to the patient, I go, so what do you think it is? And he goes, well, the doctor says it's all in my head. And I said, well, it looks like it's in your leg. And, because he limped in. So I put him in a trance, and I moved the paralysis to the other side, and then woke him up and had him go get something across the room. And he was limping across the room with the other leg. And he turned around and looked at me and he goes, you made it go to the other leg. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, this isn't funny. And I said, well, actually it is, if you think about it. It's hysterical, right? And then I sat him down and I said to the psychiatrist, I said, is it true that if you suppress a symptom, it has to come out somewhere else? And he goes, oh, absolutely. So I made it come out of his leg, and I looked at the psychiatrist and I said, and it's going to come out somewhere else. So I brought the patient out, and he got up and started walking around, and the psychiatrist got up to shake his hand and limped across the room. And the psychiatrist says to me, he goes, hey, this isn't funny. And the patient goes, well, actually, it is.
Close your eyes and think about somebody who you know loves and respects you. And if you're one of those people who go, nobody loves me, Jesus loves you. Imagine that person or deity is indeed in front of you. Float out of yourself and into them. And look at yourself through the eyes of love and respect. Notice how wonderful it feels to look at you through the eyes of somebody who loves you. They love you. And the things they notice about you that perhaps you hadn't noticed about yourself, that you're just beginning to get insights into now. Yeah. How neat is that, huh? Well, when people say to me, who are the best hypnotists, I always go, parents, right? And, those important figures who influence us in the early years of our lives. Rachel, so what was it you got when you stepped into the eyes of the perspective of someone who loves and respects you? What did you learn about yourself?
She's invincible.
You're invincible. You are invincible.
It's my son.
It's your son. So your son sees you as this invincible person. And God, that's just wonderful, isn't it? So you inspire that within him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be a pretty strong and amazing person.
I guess, from his point of view, yeah.
Own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to have somebody else who's an expert help you. And if nothing else, they often contain the experience and they say, let's just step back here. Your son thinks you're invincible, so maybe there's some invincibility in you or something about you that he admires, that strength and that courage and that lovely quality, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do things for him and I provide for him and
I
pick him up when he needs me. And I suppose I'm everything to him.
I think you are. You're his world. That's beautiful. Thank you. All right, God bless. Hey, man. Hello. Hi there. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Kalpna.
Kalpna. So can you tell us, what was the insight when you stepped into somebody who could see you through you could see yourself through the eyes of love and respect?
Yeah, I saw somebody who's really strong, who, I can see somebody who looks up to and feel that she shares so much love, but she's not recognizing it.
Yeah.
And that sort of overwhelmed me.
Yeah, overwhelmed you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel sad about it or do you feel joyous about it?
I just feel happy that, there's somebody that people look up to.
Yeah.
But I don't recognize it. So seeing from somebody else's eye is I'm seeing myself.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing because you don't recognize how powerful and how strong you are.
Yeah.
Until you see it from somebody else's eye.
That's the idea. I don't think I've heard a better description of the result of this technique than the one you just gave. I mean, I don't know you, but I suspect people do look up to you and they admire you. I mean, look, a lot of people in this room probably don't know you, but who suspects The gut part is the sort of person you could look up to and respect. Yeah? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Because I think it's a flow of energy that I felt with him, you know, and I really appreciate him taking that time out to, you know, understand what I'm going through. So I think it's fantastic.
The only thing with this kind of work is, because I fly all over the world, is I have to get up really quite early sometimes to prepare for these events. And I found a great thing, because sometimes, you know, when you've got a really early alarm call and the phone rings in the room, it's loud, right? So I've discovered this great thing. I booked the alarm call for the room next door. It's a bit quieter, and I can hear someone go, do you know what time it is? 5:30. It's 5:30, right? Oh, it's just a little bit more in the distance. It's something you might want to try, you know?
I'm good at what I do, and I enjoy that. You know, I don't think of myself as a humanitarian by any means. To me, it's a set of skills. And I was at the right place at the right time to acquire these skills, and smart enough and concerned enough about the planet on which I live to make sure that I spread them as far as possible. And the truth is, your neurology is capable of exquisite pleasure, immense determination. You're capable of learning and really driving yourself forward. It's a bad plan to wait for things. See, it's much better if you open up your mind and go, how can I do this easier, quicker, faster? You know, what am I not thinking about that would make this pleasant? You see, if you go and you realize, look, you don't need to change the belief the sun is coming up, but what if you could paint whatever picture you wanted there? What do you think you should put up tomorrow?
There's a couple of times over the last few days where I thought I'm actually nodding off and thinking, is it because I've been sort of tired the night before or something like this? And you're suddenly aware, no, you know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Put your feet on the floor for a minute if you would. Put your hands on your thighs. Take a deep breath in through your mouth, real quick. Go. Hold it for a second and slowly let it out through your nose. One more deep breath in. Hold it for a second and slowly let it out through your nose and just relax. While you're sitting there, what I want you to do is to put up that picture of the thing you believe very strongly. The sun is coming up. Doesn't matter which belief it is, one when you look at that you have a sense of certainty about. Then from the center of it, I want you to start to open up a little pinhole. Smile really big for no reason. Just do it and you'll discover the hair on your forearms begins to tingle.
My emotions were so deep and I didn't know, I was thinking like, you know, how is it possible? My body is acting without my words, without my control. I think that was actually, wow, very touching. Very, very.
It changes the mood of someone, but forever. It's not just a moment.
A little bit like magic. You know, it's like you're with someone giving you a magical, like magic land, you know, and then you don't even feel yourself like you're in control. It's like something else takes over.
The more you smile, the more you relax, the more you take a deep breath and just sigh. Oh.
It's a moment where you look up and you go, he's talking about me. You know, he's not talking about me, but he's quite obviously talking about me, and I could have been the only person in this room because that's what it felt like.
The currency of your life is how you spend your moments. Because anybody that tells you you're not a miracle is stupid. We're not separate from each other. The way we feel affects everyone around us. This is because I can look at someone and go into a trance. They'll go with me. I can smile at a stranger and they'll smile back. I look at children who are crying and I start crying and then I start laughing and they laugh. You can do it with crowds. The tone of your voice, the energy that emanates from you, every moment, if you make it special, it will be. You're a wonderful person. You just don't act like it sometimes. And the message from me is knock it the fuck off. Stop it and have a sense of humor about it. Take a deep breath and giggle. Oh, that was pathetic. Let's try one more time. Deeper breath. And open your eyes.
I could tell the stuff he was saying was going in, and I love the bit about if I feel stuck, I'm going to start giggling. I really like that.
I think everyone should do it. They should be teaching it in schools.
He's not your typical therapist.
Many people don't realize, but Viagra, which is a wonder drug, like aspirin was a wonder drug, made pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars, but it was originally a heart medicine. And when they were testing it, it had this unlikely side effect. And they almost, in fact, there were 3 other companies that had invented something like it. Heart medicine, you have a tendency to take when you wake up. So people would get up in the morning, and when they were in the experimental trial program, they would take this pill, they would go to work and go, boing, right? And they would go back and they go, it was so embarrassing. I got this giant erection every morning at about 10 o'clock when I go to work. They went, oh, this side effect, we're never going to be able to sell this drug, and they put it away. Somebody at Pfizer went, hold on a minute. It did what? I went home and went, about 7 o'clock at night, right? Their wife came in and he went, and dollar signs came rolling down in his head. And the next thing you know, half the population had little blue pills.
I'm quite interested to see, or I'm excited to see rather, how deep they go and how they tackle some of the more hardcore stuff. Like yesterday was quite light in some of the things that we sort of dealt with. I'm quite excited to see some of the deeper, harder stuff.
If anyone here has had a trauma that they still would like me to help them get over? You, ma'am. Yes, come and join us. Let's give her a nice round of applause. So you have a trauma, something that's holding you back, right?
Yeah, about 4 months ago I had a traumatic miscarriage.
I understand.
And ever since my life hasn't been quite the same. I've been crying every day and had panic attacks, can't sleep at night. Now I have a fear of pregnancy and I don't know what I want anymore.
Okay. Every fibre in my being now wants to help Lisa to get over this, and I have a belief she can, just because I've seen it many times before. And right now, you don't know whether you can or not, but you're open to trying it because you had the guts to come up here and sit down in front of 700 people and say, this is where I'm at, yeah? And I think that in itself is pretty astounding, right? Now, when you think about that traumatic time, a picture or movie comes to mind, right? Okay, stop. Okay, move it away. Now, what I'd like you to do, Lisa, is close your eyes and imagine you're sitting in a cinema. Float out of your body and all the way back to the projection room, right? And look at the back of your head, way down there, looking up at the screen in front of you. And just tell me yes when you can imagine that. Yes. Yes, good. Now, on this screen, we are only going to look at black and white movies. And what I want you to do is, without looking at the movie, way down there, right? I want you to put on the screen a black and white still image from the traumatic time, and I want you to find and mark on the film the moment after you know you have survived it, right? So you go, yeah, that's the moment I survived it and it's over. Yep. And then, without looking at the movie, the moment before it occurred, way down there on the screen, way down there. Yep. Now, drain all the color out. In fact, make it a little bit sepia and grainy so you can hardly, that's it, yeah. In a moment, we're going to run this movie backwards from the moment after you knew you survived it to the moment before it occurred at twice speed, run it backwards. Now all the characters are moving backwards, everything's happening backwards and black and white. Run it really, really fast, Rich. You're running a movie backwards, really, really fast. All the characters are moving backwards, everything's happening backwards and black and white. When you're back in the front, you can just tell me yes and then stop. Okay, stop. Now running backwards again. Twice speed does it. All the characters move backwards. So she bravely came on the stage. She was happy to share her story, which is quite a personal, intimate story, but it moved everyone in the room. And, I hope it moves everyone watching. As you run the movie backwards, disassociated, what you're doing is you're creating a new set of coding in the brain. So Lisa will be able to remember something bad happened, but she's not reliving it, right? Because the reliving of it is what's causing the upset. Change there took only a few minutes, but it's going to have an impactful massively impactful effect upon the rest of her life. Then open your eyes and come on back out. Now, when you think about that traumatic time, what's the difference?
I can't think about it too well.
You can't think about it too well. It doesn't quite come back, does it? So try and get upset about it right now. It's not the same, is it? Now, however, that doesn't mean you can't get upset. Here we go. So, what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes and put the part that gets upset here. It should make you feel emotional, because you're an emotional human being, as am I, as am everyone else in this room. Can I talk to the part that's upset?
Yes.
Yeah. You do a job for Lisa, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you help her. You help her know where she is when, something extraordinary tragic happens, yeah? And I want to thank you for doing your job. And this is the important part. I want you to continue to do all the good things that you do for Lisa without having her unnecessarily upset, because she has grieved for 4 months now. And I'm not saying she will never feel sad again about this, but does the part agree that perhaps it could continue to signal to you that something is, you've been through a traumatic experience, right? But the good thing is, it's in the past, and the past is over. And in this hand, I want you to put bliss and peace. And then float into, just get in touch with that. There you go. That's it. There you go. That's it. That's it. Ah, that's lovely. And then put your attention just above your head like this, here. There's neat. That's really neat. There you go. And experience both emotions simultaneously. So this is an emotional recalibration right now we're just doing. These guys both can work together to bring you a harmonious future. Just bring them together. Ooh, there we go. When it feels like they can work together, yeah, then integrate them. Top of your head, down to the tips of your toes. And now, you feel good in this moment? Yeah? So you know you've got the ability to feel sad if you need to, because you're a functioning human being, but you can also feel joyous and peaceful, right? Yeah. And you can look forward to a positive future of possibilities. We can't control everything that ever happens to us, but we have a big say in how we think and feel. Now, I'd like you to carry this feeling with you into the rest of the day, into tomorrow, into next week, into next month, into next year. Know that you're stronger and wiser. And you've touched the lives of a lot of people with what you've shared and the courage you've shown to go face that. So when you open your eyes, the world's going to look different and you're going to feel so much better. Take all the time you need to come on back. Feeling good, feeling joyous, refreshed, unburdened, and feeling so good about feeling good. Woo! How do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
When you think about the future now, what's the difference?
It's clearer.
It's clearer?
Yeah.
So the actual pictures look clearer, do they? Or what you want to have happen?
It seems that there's more possibilities and opportunities there.
Possibilities and opportunities. Well, I don't think we can ask for more than that. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, God bless. All right, God bless. Okay. There are so many really astounding people, bravely come on the stage. And I think Lisa was a fascinating example of somebody who had been through a terrible experience and wanted to get better. So she's in a rough place, but she's got hope.
I came to this event because I had a trauma and I thought it would be a good place to feel better and fix it. It's helped me massively so far and I feel much happier. I feel very happy. Happiness
is a slightly different thing to pleasure. People who are endless pleasure seekers, by the way, there's nothing wrong with pleasurable things. I'm not criticizing it, but if your life is all about an endless drive for pleasure, so I found, you might find differently, but if it's all about endless pleasure, then literally you're like one of those, mice in the laboratory just hitting the button to get the cheese, yeah? And I find happiness is a much bigger game.
To me, giving people the strength to feel solid is what I always attempt to do with everybody. I mean, I've worked with people that were supposed to be so depressed, no one could help them, and so the only alternative was to pump them full of drugs. And of course, I go, what are you depressed about? Well, I'm lonely. And I go, well, how many people did you meet yesterday? And they go, none, I never left the house because I feel so bad. They're self-fulfilling prophecies. So teaching them how to look forward to things and how to anticipate things. It's a skill, it's not genetic. You need to be able to see yourself doing wonderful things with people and want it. Wouldn't you like to be able to do what I did the first morning? Mm-hmm. Well, it ain't that hard. All you have to do is be happy. Imagine yourself doing it and wanting it, right? Have you ever had sex?
A couple of things.
Couple of times? Have you ever looked at someone just before you did and went, I want this? Yeah? Well, that's the way you need to look at this person out there. You need to feel that strongly. You need to see her doing it so good that you go, I'm going to work day and night so I get great at this. Right? Can you do that? Mm-hmm. Good. And look me in the eye. Because I want you to take a deep breath, because your unconscious has been listening to me and responding. You're already relaxing. Your whole face is relaxed since you came up here. So you might as well relax the rest of the way. That's right, here we go. Even deeper. That's right, deeper. We're really gonna go down now. And close your eyes. That's right, just relax. Now, while you're relaxing, I want you to relax everything. Just totally relax. Because stress is something you should have in other people. All that stress should be converted into dreams. You see, there are somebody smiling at me right now from the audience because they learned to do this methodically. Every time you start to feel bad, it should only tell you, I'm doing the wrong thing. And you should go, oh, and make a better picture. Make a better plan and adjust yourself so that you want it. You know, right now you're feeling relaxed, but you're not feeling good enough. See, I think your unconscious can make you feel better than that. There have been many experiences in your life that are in the category of wonderful. Those are going to start flooding into your mind. One after the other, bigger, brighter, closer. And all you have to do is smile so your teeth show. Here we go. 1, open your mouth. 2, show me your teeth. That's right. And giggle a little bit. And every time you start to worry, giggle. And if you worry, giggle louder. Make a better picture. Remember, these are just ideas. They're free. You don't even have to pay for them. But you have to work a little bit. You have to be happier. You have to want it. You have to go, I'll never learn anything. Never, 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 never. I'll never be good at this. I'll never, 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 never. When you hear that in your head, you have to go, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, 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 shut the fuck up. And every time you start to talk to yourself, say, giggle, 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 giggle. Giggle, 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 shut the fuck up, 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 shut the fuck up. Giggle, 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 shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. There you go. Your unconscious finally got it. You want something to worry about? Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. There you go. Your brain is headed towards being happy instead of towards mastering the art of worrying needlessly. This is your problem. You need to sit down and go, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. But I can't, 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 but I can't. And when he says to you, well, I want to, but you go, tits. I do this with clients all the time. It angers them sometimes. They go, well, you told me I should try and do this, but, and I go, tits. And they go, but tits. But tits. Right? After a while, they stop saying that. It's a little operant conditioning. But tits, but tits, but tits. Right? Now, what's going to be hard tomorrow? When you lay in your bed tonight, are you going to think, I can never do this, I can never do this. I want to do it back, tits, back, tits, back, tits. It's going to be a tough life. You're just going to have to get smarter every day. That's all there is to it, dear. Now, in a minute, I'm going to reach over. I'm going to put my hand on your knee, and I want you to take a deep breath and really relax. Because you haven't really relaxed yet, but you're about to. 1, 2, 3. That's the point at which you sigh so that you will never be this stupid again. That's it. Now, I'll get back to you in a minute. What? She hasn't relaxed in 10 years. She might as well do it for a while. It's you guys I have to deal with now. People have to learn to be able to look at things and decide how they're going to feel, not just react to everything like you're helpless on this planet. You need to grow up and have a sense of humor. So I'm going to count to 3. You're going to wake up with a burning sense of desire to become that person in the picture. And anytime you say or think anything stupid, you'll start laughing and become more determined. Here we go. You're going to wake up like a rocket ship. 1, 2, 3, now. Yeah! So, let me ask you. Let me ask you. If you think you'll feel better.
Thank you.
You bet.
I want you to think about something that somebody said to you that was hurtful, mean, unhelpful, unconstructive, and when you think about it, still upsets you. Maybe you could use the phrase, couldn't get over it. And I want you to think about it. Of course, it'll be in your head or in your imagination, because they're not still here saying it to you right now, right? So where's it taking place? Here, right? Thumbs out, everybody, thumbs out. That's it, good. And what I'd like you to do is take that sound bite, whatever it is, that terrible thing that they said to you, you stupid, useless, ugly fool who'll never amount to anything, and stick it on the end of your thumb. And then I want you to hear them saying, what was the awful thing that somebody said to you that still upset you?
My auntie was surprised that my ex-husband married me.
Right. But I want the exact words that this witch said to you.
I'm surprised he married you, because you're not good looking.
Okay, yeah. Did she actually say because you're not good looking?
Yeah.
Okay, is your auntie still with us or not?
She's with us.
Okay. You don't have to tell her, I think she's a fucking bitch, right? Next time you see her. When you hear those words, it still hurts you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In your head or outside?
In my head.
In your head. Where in your head? Let me pull them out.
Yeah.
Got them here. Woo. And I'm prepared to help manage you. I mean, just look at you and I'm good looking. Hear the voice. Look at her face over here. I'm surprised your husband married you because he's not good looking. I'm surprised your husband married you because he's not good looking. What kind of thoughtless witch? What kind of awful person says that to anyone else? Someone who doesn't feel good about themselves. So they want to share their pain with other people. So here we go. This time you're going to do it yourself, okay? Hold the mic, but then put your thumb out like that, right? Put your auntie's voice on your thumb, yeah? And hear her say, right? Because I researched all the various tonalities, and that's the only tonality that nobody can take seriously, right? When you hear them saying it, is it inside your head or is it outside?
It's here.
It's in there, right? Pull it out. It's over here now. Nicole. Hear it like this. You're really scary. You scare me and you scare the entire project team. Nicole, you're very scary. You scare me and you scare the entire project team. You scare the project team. Now, how does it feel now?
It feels ridiculous.
It feels ridiculous, thank you. Just so I know, in Romanian, if you said, you're useless, nobody likes you, you'll never amount to anything. How do you actually say that in Romanian? Now, I don't speak in Romanian, but I know I can't take that seriously, right? Now, hear it in your head. You don't have to do it out loud. Hear it in your head, but hear it on your thumb there.
Yes.
Can you take it seriously?
No.
No. You're healed. Okay. How do you feel? You feel better? Thank you. Okay, that's good. All right. All righty.
You know, you don't store memories here and there. Your brain works off of Fourier patterns. Everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard, everything you've ever felt, tasted, touched, all of it's there someplace. The problem is not getting it in. The problem is getting it out. Because if you don't encode information properly, decoding it is a difficulty. And so most people's memories just work off of whatever neural loops are on the top. See, no matter how many phone numbers you've had in your life, all of them are still there. To this degree, a woman comes to me with her husband. They came in and they're fighting away. And I suddenly realized they're fighting about something that happened over 20 years ago. She had lost her wedding ring. And she kept saying that she lost it, you know, doing the dishes or something. And he said, I took the sink apart and the pipes and there was no ring. He said, you took your ring off when you were with another man. And she goes, I didn't have a car. I couldn't leave the house, right? We lived on a farm, right? We lived with my parents. My parents were there. They told you I didn't leave the house. And they're still fighting about this 20 years later. They're still living together. They're still married. And they're still fighting over something that didn't happen and the whole foundation of it. And so I asked her, I went, where's the ring? And she goes, well, it has to have gone down the drain. And when she said it, she went, it has to have gone down the drain. And so I said, well, that's what you think. What does your unconscious think? And she goes, my unconscious? And I said, yes, more unconscious than that. And by the time I was done with her, she was more like this. So I asked her unconscious, I've set up a yes signal and a no signal. I said, let me ask your unconscious, does it know where the ring is? I got, yes. And I said, are you willing to let her know? I got, yes. I said, okay. Take her back to just before the ring was lost, and at the moment it's lost, freeze it and make sure you amplify everything so she knows where it went. And then I woke her up and I said, where's the ring? And she said to me, she goes, I was in the basement. The hot water heater went out. I lit the pilot light. When I got up, it slipped off my hand. She goes, and I said, well, I said, it's too bad you don't still live there. And she goes, my mom does. And so we called her mother on the phone. Her mother went downstairs and looked under the hot water heater, and the wedding ring was there. Having spoken so much to your conscious mind, we decided we'd like to end this seminar by talking to your other mind. Your conscious mind is like that flashlight in the dark room shining on something. Well, while it's shining on something, we're going to stick some other stuff in there to take with you, to prepare you, so that the learnings and the understandings you've made here are the beginning that will make you happier day by day for the rest of your life. Because my big hope for all of you is that you start surprising yourself. Because
as you listen
to each and every word
that I and Richard say,
you won't be able
to necessarily
hear them all,
because you find
that while you're listening, while you're breathing in and out and relaxing,
and listening to me
and listening to Paul, suddenly we'll both be speaking to you at the same time. Because your conscious mind cannot hear
so many ways.
Each and everything
Ever since you're a child,
that both of us say,
having creative thoughts about
running
how much more
automatically,
you can achieve, because
we'll begin to
from time
slow
to time, you might
down
move out of that
anything
comfort
that's
zone
not
and
helpful
take a
and
calculated
accelerate everything that is.
I'm very, very happy with having come today.
I absolutely loved today. I think it really connected with me.
I feel like I've kind of
fog has just disappeared. So that's really helpful.
So after the first session, I was happy. Even if it ended there, I would have thought, yeah, I've used my time in a worthwhile manner for a change instead of being flitting and distracted.
You need to go home now.
It's amazing. They are just, like, they're the best at what they do. I've not seen anything like this before. It's amazing. It's incredible.
What's fantastic is they both complement each other, don't they? Because you've got two different types of energies, two different messages.
I've never heard of Richard Bandler before, but when I saw him today, what he did was amazing.
Richard was great, fantastic. Very funny, great comedian, a bit shocking sometimes.
I felt like I was in a dream when I was watching them on stage.
I'd recommend it to anybody.
I've got all the mindset, all the pictures in my mind, all the imagery, and all my imagination is now clear again. So, yeah, all good to go.